Hello traders. In this video podcast, I would like to discuss Forex news, trading the news, and if it's a good idea for a trader to trade when there are major news announcements in the market. And also explain our take as far as which pairs to trade and how to trade around the news and so forth. So without any further ado, when you're trading in Forex multiple times a day or multiple times a week, there will be major news announcements for specific currency pairs or from countries that will affect certain currency pairs. And this has pros and cons that go along with it, and I can now break down the difference between when you should be trading and when you should not be trading the news. So let's talk about swing trading and longer term trades where you have a stop loss many times over 100 pips depending on what your target ranges are. In this particular case, when you're trading, when there is a large news release from a country that will affect a currency pair, usually the swing up and down can be anywhere between 25 pips. It can go over 100 pips as far as just kind of a jerk up and down. But for the most part, if you're swing trading with large or high stop losses, you shouldn't be affected, or you'll be less affected when there is some sort of news announcement that comes out in the market. Let's talk about intraday trading, where you're day trading, where we're only after 25 to 50 pips on average. In this case, you certainly could trade the news, but when a news release happens, the up and down as far as what the market is going to do is going to be erratic. It's going to be crazy and unpredictable. So many times it will go up 50 and then back down 50, within even just a minute or 30 seconds. So you'll see very, very large spikes. If you're trading in the right direction, many times you can get you can be in and out of your trade in just a few seconds if you're in the right direction. Vice versa, you can also be stopped out within just a few seconds, even with a 50 or 75, even up to 100 or more pip target, either stop loss or take profit. When a news release happens, depending on how important the news is, it can reach these levels instantly. So many traders that are not aware of the news or not aware of how this works often come to us complaining that when they trade, they see a news release, or they don't know that there's a news release, and the trade that they're in is immediately stopped out when the price was 25 to 100 plus pips away, and they don't understand why or how this happens. So in a news release, whether it be really any currency pair can be affected, but for the most part, if there is a news release that is coming out of, for example, the United Kingdom or Great Britain, usually the GBP pairs are the ones that are going to be affected. So if there are 6 main GBP pairs and there is a news release that's coming out of Great Britain, you will see all 6 of those pairs immediately be erratic once that news release happens. And this is going to last usually for 5 to 15 minutes. The same goes for any other pair. If you see a news release out of the United States, you're going to see all the U.S. pairs go nuts. If you see anything with Asia or Australia, those specific pairs are going to be affected. So the way that we trade the news, we are intraday traders, as you can see by our website and our trading style. We do not trade the news. We trade around the news. In our opinion, it is a liability to trade the news when you are an intraday trader, unless you are specifically a news trader that is just going after immediate up and down swings when these news releases happen. But this is a completely different style of trading where you have to specifically trade based on, just within a few seconds of market movement. As I said before, a trade can go in and out within 15-30 seconds. You can hit stop loss or take profit, even up to 100 pips or more. But when we're intraday trading, we are only after 25 to 50 pips. So it is not in our best interest or our client's best interest to trade the news because it's too unpredictable, in our opinion. There is too much market movement immediately, and price action and all of the other parts of our algorithm that don't make sense when a news release comes out is really just not doing anyone any good. So when you trade with Forex Clone, we trade around the news. If we can see that a news release or a major news announcement is going to come out, for example, on GBP or the GBP pairs, and we're 3 hours or 2 hours away, we will stay away from that trade. We will not take a GBP trade specifically because there's going to be news. Also, we're not going to take usually for example, again, a GBP pair. We're not going to trade that even 30 minutes or an hour after that news release because there's been such a big movement. There could be 100 pips, 150 pips, 75 pips, whatever it is. You're going to see huge movement, and we don't want to use our algorithms and use our analysis based on the market that's already moved, such a large a number of pips. So as an intraday trader, we have found that when there is news coming out, stay away from those currency pairs. Don't get affected by things that you have no control over. Trade smart, trade using your technique or using however method that you have, but stay away from news if you're not a specific news trader, and this will help you avoid any just completely unknown reasons why a trade goes up or down based on the erraticism or how erratic the market can be when a news release happens. As always, leave your comments below. We'd like to hear from you guys. Any comments, questions that you guys have, feel free to email us. But this is really just our take on trading the news. If you're not a specific news trader, you should trade around the news because the markets will go too crazy, too unpredictable, usually again within just a few seconds, which can stop you out or it can give you very quick profits. But many times a market will go, as I said, way up and then way down, and it could jigsaw again, up, down, multiple times with very, very large swings just because of a news release. You can see many websites online also have a what's called a Forex forecast or a news forecast. These are all free services, and you can see what news releases are coming up for the current week or the current day so that you can plan around your trading. So hope this helps. Hope this video finds you guys well, and trade safe.